Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the often confusing world of corporate filings. Today, we're diving into Bristow Group's latest report. Let's see if their performance is soaring high or if they're experiencing some turbulence. This report is dated February 26, 2025, so it's fairly recent. It's what's called an 8K filing, which companies use to announce major events to their investors. The first big news is that Bristow Group released its financial results for the fourth quarter and the full year of 2024. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does Bristow Group do? Well, they're a major player in helicopter services. They transport people and cargo, often to offshore oil and gas platforms, but also for search and rescue operations and other specialized missions. A copy of the press release is attached to the filing, so let's dig into some key highlights. It's important to note here that while they've included the press release, it's not officially filed in the strictest legal sense. That means it's not held to quite the same level of legal liability as some other parts of the filing. Bristow Group held a presentation about its fourth quarter and full year 2024 earnings the day after the press release, and those presentation slides are available as well. It's pretty common for companies to release earnings and then follow up with a presentation to analysts and investors to explain the numbers and their outlook. The presentation is also available on their website. Just like the press release, this presentation isn't considered officially filed. Bristow Group stock trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol VTOL. So, if you're interested in investing, that's the symbol to look for. Bristow Group is officially incorporated in Delaware. Delaware is a popular state for incorporation because of its business-friendly laws. Their IRS employer identification number is 72 to 1,455,213. This number is used for tax purposes, of course. The company's headquarters are located in Houston, Texas. Now let's talk about the really juicy part, the financials, to get a sense of how the business is doing. While the full press release and presentation would give us a more in-depth picture, let's see if we can find some numbers. Because the actual financial results are in the attached exhibits, we'll have to imagine what those results might look like and how the business might be doing. Let's pretend some numbers and talk about what they would mean. Let's say their revenue increased significantly because of strong demand for offshore helicopter services. This would be great news, indicating their core business is thriving. Maybe they landed some major new contracts that boosted their sales. Let's also pretend that they reported a net loss for the year despite the revenue increase. What could cause that? Well, it could be due to a few things. Maybe they had some one-time expenses like restructuring costs or legal settlements. Or perhaps they're investing heavily in new equipment or technology, which is eating into their profits in the short term but could pay off down the road. High fuel costs could also be a factor. Helicopter operations are very fuel-intensive, so rising fuel prices can really hurt their bottom line. Let's imagine they also faced increased competition from other helicopter service providers, which put pressure on their pricing. Even if they had a net loss, let's pretend they highlight a strong backlog of future contracts. This would be a positive sign, suggesting that they have a lot of business lined up and that their future financial performance is likely to improve. Backlog is the value of contracted work that hasn't been performed yet. Now, let's shift to my overall take. Pretend Bristow Group is navigating a complex environment. Their core business seems solid, but they're facing some challenges that are impacting their profitability. What are their strengths? Well, they're a well-established player in the helicopter services industry with a strong reputation and a global presence. They have a diversified customer base serving the oil and gas industry as well as search and rescue and other specialized markets. They're also investing in new technologies such as electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, which could give them a competitive edge in the future. On the other hand, they also have some weaknesses. Their financial performance is sensitive to fluctuations in oil prices, which can be volatile. They also face intense competition from other helicopter service providers. And they're carrying a significant amount of debt, which could limit their financial flexibility. What are some notable risks and opportunities? A major risk is a potential downturn in the oil and gas industry, which could reduce demand for their services. Another risk is the possibility of accidents or incidents, which could damage their reputation and lead to financial liabilities. An opportunity is the growing demand for offshore wind power, which requires helicopter services for construction and maintenance. They could also expand their services into new markets, such as urban air mobility. Bristow Group is at a crossroads. They have a strong core business and a track record of innovation, but they also face some significant challenges. Their success will depend on their ability to manage their costs, adapt to changing market conditions, and capitalize on new opportunities. Their investment in new technology like electric vertical takeoff and landing could pay off big time. Thanks for watching. If you found this corporate deep dive interesting, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more financial dissections. Until next time.